We are back for session 2 of Highcaster Oathstar Chronicle. Not to be confused with the Death Star Chronicle, which I must admit gets a little confusing when you look at it too quickly. We are in session 2 of a 6-session limited campaign of Highcaster. Highcaster is an original game that I've created that is currently on Kickstarter. It is going to be published by Gallant Knight Games, and we are thrilled to bring this story to you. I have brought some of my friends to play this game with me. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, any chat channels or something that people should find you at, and your character. I think we had an order established, so I'm just going to leave it to you all to figure out.
I think I was first.
I'm last, so y'all going before me.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Abear, he, him pronouns. You can find me everywhere under the name at Nerdy Paper Games on Itch, on Twitter, on Instagram, all that fun stuff. I do game design and art for other people's game designs. In this campaign, I am playing Grumble, the Holton, so sort of a round boy made of rocks, with a floppy hat. He is a Skoplar, meaning that he uses song and dance and performance and music to tell stories and influence others. And
hats. He likes hats.
He likes hats. He's real big. He's a trader, like a trader. Trader.
Not like a treasonous trader, but
no, he's actually probably the least likely person to be a traitor. He's real nice. He's a real good boy.
It's good.
I'm gonna throw it to Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a writer. Yeah, I mean that kind of encompasses. I write games, and I write 4 games, and I also write fiction. You can find me on Twitter and all the usual places. I've written for Gallant Knight Games, and I've written for Chris too. And yeah, cool. I'm excited. Playing my dragon. I came prepared today.
Oh,
nice. I like it.
In case some pirates decide to get a little frisky.
Our production quality has just gone up. And what is the name of your drac?
Oh yeah. Her name is Enosi, and she's a magister, so she does magic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. See, I'm actually tricking you all to say your name so that I can write them down. This is all a ploy. We're actually not doing introductions.
I guess it goes over to Kurt.
Hi, I'm Kurt. I use he, him pronouns. I am a game designer and graphic designer. I write games. I've written Sigils in the Dark and Lighthearted, which is currently being published by Gallant Knight Games. I'm the co-author of Lighthearted along with Kate, who's not on the stream, but I got to mention her because, contractually obligated and all that. I am playing Emir, who is a Giantkin Whitlander Wildkin. I'm kind of a real big boy, foresty type who loves to fish. And I got a pet. I got a good friend. Their name is Muscles. They are an otter bear, which is an otter bear, so a big old bear that looks like an otter. Super cute. Yeah, that's me. I'm supposed to do rangery stuff when I can tell the difference between descriptions about the environment and what's actually a threat. So I got to pay attention for that stuff. So that's my job today.
I noticed that to say the name properly, we need to flip the R at the end. Like Emir. Yeah, there's a bit of okay. I'll remember not to do that. I'll try to do that.
Yeah, you can call him Emir. Whatever your tongue, he wouldn't mind.
Okay, all right, good. I don't want to insult him.
Oh, he won't be insulted.
It's very difficult to pronounce the name properly without a tongue that is 2 feet wide.
Correct. Yeah. There's like a rumbling. There's like a chest rumble that's part of his name that only Giantkin can pull off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, Giantkin. So you're roughly, what did we decide? 18?
I'm about 18 feet tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 foot tongue, you say?
Which when I which when I thought about it, I don't think I would be able to put the other normal size folks in my hand. It'd be more like picking up a toddler. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except Grumble. Well, Grumble's kind of small.
Grumble would be like you picking up like a rather large and round watermelon.
okay.
Because he's like 3 feet tall, and like if a toddler is about, so imagine take a toddler, a ball that's about waist high to chest high on a toddler.
So like
In
those
comparison to you.
balls outside a Target that keep you from driving through the front door.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Oh,
they're
nice.
for.
Yeah. Also sort of made of the same stuff. About as
That's what
hard.
they're there for? I thought they were to stop skateboarders from skating in front of the Target.
I just thought it was lame branding.
Multi-purpose. Well, that's me. I'll throw it to
Me! Yay! Hi, everybody. I'm Joanna. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at JLN Writes, as in like the act of writing, not RIGHTS. I play Renoy. I know it's not spelled intuitively or phonetically, but that is how you pronounce her name, Renoy. She is a fiend, which means she is descended from demons. But although she has very harsh, scary looking features and like basically like whited out eyes and like skin that's like a very slick and shiny blue green, she's actually very, very pleasant and wants to get along with everybody and help people, unless she's cranky, especially when she's really wet because she has wings and she can't fly. She hates being wet. So that is Renoy.
Speaking of which, it's raining. We have we have
nice fade.
nice segue.
Nice fade.
We have what is proving to be a major storm off the coast of Isolation Coast. The heroes present came all the way from their homeland in the Whitlands, far to the south, because they are seeking out the horizon. There was a star that was born one day, and they believe now that since one star is there, they can resurrect the star that they revered, Oathstar, who is the star that the Whitlanders pledged their oath to when they're of age. So this is an important mission for them. And along their way, they decided that they needed to circumnavigate the massive swamp and have ended up in the lands of the Saybeards, or Seabeards, if you prefer. And the Seabeards have taken them in because they have promised to get rid of this monstrous sea creature off of the coast who is probably responsible for this storm. But they might also be responsible for having protected our heroes from the weather when an offering was made to them. So we really don't know much about this, except that they have a massive tentacle that came out of the water and looked very kraken-y. So our heroes, after a night of feasting, have decided to take their new friend Blackshire's boat, Bertha, into the swelling ocean that is putting up 50-foot swells and huge waves that are knocking down many of the pillars on the coast. So we're hoping that Bertha is going to make it. So just a couple of pieces of house cleaning. You have had a restful night's sleep, I presume, unless somebody decided to party all night at the feast.
Slept like a rock.
So if you have rested, you can.
Don't worry, guys. I looked up lots of stone puns. I'm gonna get them both barrels all day.
I don't think worried is the word I'd use.
I'm in favor of puns. I think they're important. You can't tell if I'm joking, can you?
I know you're not joking.
So
Puns are great.
it's how language evolves. Where was I? I got completely distracted. Oh, so if you rested, then you get to negate 1 harm from any of your humors if you have harm. You may also gain back 1 of your discipline die that you spent. Also, some house cleaning. We were in I think I called it a quest last time, but it was actually a journey chapter, which meant the game just sort of runs as designed. Before we move on to deal with this problem, I'm going to go ahead and give you a prepare chapter, which since you have time to prepare before you go out into the open water, it's only fair enough to allow you to have that time. So you can do prepare. Now, the way prepare works is that you are able to put together anything that you might need that is narratively reasonable to aid you in this quest. This means you have narrative control. We won't have any conflicts or threats, rather. You can just sort of work together and decide what it is that you need to do to prepare. So I'll hand it over to you. What does it look like when you wake up? What's going on?
What kind of ship are we going to be in?
It's basically a Viking row ship. It has 15 oars on either side.
Ship being a loose term, according to what we've seen.
Yeah, and there's a mast, but no sail, because it's an old ship. Not that a sail would be useful at all in these conditions, but there is no sail, but there are oars.
Grumble is going to acquire a long, sturdy rope, so he can basically tie himself off to the stern of the ship in case he goes overboard, because flotation devices are not necessarily the most helpful for a giant rock.
Yeah, you sort of didn't want to go into the marsh for this reason.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think I'm prepping. I'm trying to build a really big fishing pole. So I wear a big metal hook, like fishing hook, around my neck, which would be probably I don't know, like 2 feet wide. That was like made for him, and he goes out to like rip a mast off of one of the, like a smaller mast off of one of the broken ships. And takes some of the rigging and starts making himself a giant fishing pole. And then I think there's a moment when he looks at Grumble and is like, I need a weight. And he's like, and he sees Grumble there and he's like, no. He goes, find something else to tie off.
Yeah, well, it is a rocky shore, so you can find non-sentient rocks. And yeah, no problem. So you are building a large fishing pole.
Can I use my Scopular abilities to go around this encampment and find out what sort of stories people have of the stuff that lives in the water, or legends, tall tales about the creatures they've encountered while fishing out here? Right,
Yeah,
they're pirates and fishermen, right? They're people of the sea.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you are in a prepare chapter, so you can basically garner any kind of information that you need. So, what is it that you're hoping to find out?
What's the most dangerous, besides the sea scar? What is the most dangerous creature that's normally in the waters around here?
There are lots of sharks out in these waters, of course, because why wouldn't there be?
Sure.
There's also well, they're merfolk, but they're called something else, and the name eludes me. But there are merfolk out there.
These are these humans on top, fish on the bottom, or other way around?
They're sort of monstrous human fish.
All right.
And they have they're not like civilized, they're more beasts than anything.
Okay.
So yeah, you definitely have heard stories about that, and in general, that's about it. Though this is really cold water, so you'll get your whale from time to time, and there's lots of bottom feeding fish that the sharks like. Tuna. There's lots of tuna.
Oh, that's good.
So I have Hunter as one of my disciplines. So I know and understand how to track, capture, and kill a creature, which seems like it would be relevant here.
Yeah.
Is there anything different in a prepare chapter when you're using a discipline to sort of get the information you might need?
Well, in a prepare chapter, you just get the information you might need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is total narrative control, and the purpose of this is to avoid that sort of analysis paralysis you get before going on a big mission.
Okay.
So yeah, if it's narratively reasonable, then totally you can know. Especially since you are you have the hunter.
Yeah. So is this something that I would just decide as the player, like, oh, I know how to kill this creature or capture it or something like that?
Well, in this case, you can't have narrative control over the sea scar because the sea
Okay.
scar is a threat that's in motion. However, you can certainly ask and know something, and I can give you info.
Yeah. Well, then I would love to know how to track and capture or kill a creature, like the Say Scare.
The Seiskar is a legendary creature, not in the D&D sense, but it's a creature of legend. It's probably a legendary creature in the D&D sense too. It is considered the guardian of the deep, of course, but really its role is more of like a guardian between the real world and the world beyond. In other words, what the Whitlanders would call the horizon. You have the physical world and you have the world beyond. Now, the fact that it's here seems to be impossible because there has not been a world beyond since the stars fell. So any lore you have of capturing this is kind of be like, there was a story of an ancient hero from before the Highcaster Empire that was able to trick a Seiskar into going on a mission for him. And so that legend means then that the Seiskar is probably super intelligent and that you can communicate with it. The chances of beating one through brawn are not high. This thing is pretty godlike, and it's about its abilities and its power. So it would be a fool's errand to try to attack it.
Okay. Well, the smartest person I know is Renoy. So he sort of lumbers up to Renoy. I've found out some information, and I've lost my accent. Emir. I've found some information. The Seiskar would be a Horizon Guardian, and there's no way for us to. Is not a normal fish. In the sense that we could kill and catch it, and I think we are going to have to trick or bargain with it to get it to leave. But that's not really my
like a trick or some sort of treat is what you're saying. Like do something nice or like deceive him.
Sure. There was an old tale of someone who tricked a Seiskar or Horizon Guardian to go and do his own bidding, but to take it on, with brawn would be foolhardy.
Renoy, she's got 2 of those beer mugs with lids on it that she took from the mess hall, and she stands up because she was collecting leaves and dirt and everything to take with her for in case she needs some spells, and she just kind of holds both in each hand and looks in a mirror and goes, well, we could trick him with some spells. Maybe have him see things that aren't there. I don't know. I could throw some curse is on him, things like that. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to beat him with brute strength, but if we can outmaneuver him, that could potentially work.
I knew you would know what to do.
Thank you.
Also, since you're in a prepare chapter, you can make an amulet. You know, the amulet is not something you could make in the moment, but you do have that discipline and you could make one.
Yes. Okay. Renoi is collecting stuff to also make an earth amulet. And she, let's see, discipline of the talismans, but at least a full day to create a talisman with the long-term magical effect. What does she want it to do? I think she wants to create this talisman as some form of kind of like extraordinary protection for herself and everyone else on the boat. Protection from kind of strong winds or waves or just kind of brute force from the octopus monster. Doesn't mean like, you know, they're not going to get tossed around a bit, but maybe it'll like lessen the blows and save them from sticky situations. So that's
protection
what she's
from
doing.
the protection from the elements.
Yes. Yeah.
Could Enosi help with that in any kind of way?
Sure. I mean, it's not going
Yeah.
to, it's not going to help in terms of mechanics because you have narrative control, but you are welcome to help.
Sure. So Enosi would help, like assist whatever whatever Renoi needed help with. Yeah. So for sure.
Lots of dirt and leaves and seawater. Yep.
Well, we got plenty of that. So that's good. I mean, I don't have to go far. She looks around, her feet are in the mud and all that.
The perks of working with the elements for spell casting. Everything you need is here, except we need to take a lot of dirt with us. Because that's going to be a problem.
Well, yes, I mean the dirt here is more mud than anything else.
It'll be fun. I can work with it.
Muscles has collected much dirt, and he rubs his hand over his fur, and just like a glob of mud just like comes off of Muscles. He's been rolling in mud.
Looks at him and be like, "Oh, you're gonna come in handy, aren't you, Muscles? Aw, you're such a good otter bear. What's a good otter bear?"
And remember, there are gale force winds as this is all happening. Massive towers of waves pounding the beach.
Well, perhaps I could work on reinforcing the boat. I am also very good at journeys and understanding how to get through an environment or withstand elements. I have so many disciplines that they're helpful in these situations. So I'm gonna try to. I'll start. I don't know how you make a boat more seaworthy, but I will do that to the boat.
Just reinforce the boat.
Yeah.
Take some of the mud and
I think Renoi can help with that. She can gather, or her and Anusi can gather up the mud and just kind of like rub them over any holes or weak spots in the hull. And then she can kind of do like a blessing to help reinforce the hull, and so it doesn't spring any leaks when we take it out. So that's what she's doing.
Too bad my brother wasn't here. He can breathe fire. He could have made this like clay or ceramic or something, but just
doesn't Nosy breathe?
She does, but she breathes toxic fumes.
Oh, okay. That's less helpful for making.
That's less
ceramics.
helpful. She was just musing that it would have been helpful, but unfortunately,
you hear a gruff voice behind you. Well, there are other people in your life who will protect you. It's Blackshire. He's kind of nervously stroking his beard. You're on mute.
You're on mute, Danny.
That's very sweet.
He really takes that compliment and blushes, looks away.
Across the boat, Grumble's like tying himself off, and he's like standing next to Renoy, and he's like, "Young love is so beautiful. I swear."
As he glares at him.
I look back at Grumble and I'm like, they make the most unexpected, yet cutest couple. They really do.
I know you wouldn't think it looking at him initially, but
I'm
they
like
have
right
just
here.
obviously grown so
Excuse me?
close.
I'm right here. I can hear you.
I know. I'm right here too. I'm glad that we could be on this adventure together, Inosi.
Okay. All right. Well,
Watch the breathing there, now. See, getting a little lightheaded from those fumes.
I can't help it. Sorry.
Like lavender in spring.
It actually can kill you if you breathe it in long enough. Sorry.
I can think of worse ways to perish.
Oh, Lord.
I shall work on my poetry.
This dude is smooth as hell. I like this guy.
Or can I get me one? Jesus.
Are there any other preparations you want to make before you go into the raging ocean?
Should probably bring food and stuff if we have anything to bring along those lines. Unless we're just going to fish and eat fish the whole time.
Emir can
Grumble brings a sack of rocks.
You're like, all right, this is okay. I can work with this as long as I have dirt. I can work with this.
Yeah, the clan will provide you with salted fish if you like. Amir has a fishing pole.
Can I get me one of them big fish?
Your grouper.
Like a shark.
Oh, a shark. Oh. Okay. Well, we're going to move into a quest chapter, which means now you might think that, we're going into a danger chapter because we're about to take on a massive sea monster. But this is actually the point in the story in which you get to shine as heroes. You're, well prepared. You're going out to do your job. You're going to make this place peaceful. So this is actually a quest, and that means you get an advantage whenever you roll. And whatever die you're rolling on the whatever humor you're rolling, you get 2 of those. So if you're rolling a d8, you'll get 2d8.
Okay.
So keep that in mind because I will forget to remind you. So since it is your quest, I'd like to see the visual. What is the awesome painting that we see as the heroes are marching off to certain death, and the others are watching them go in awe?
Grumble has his sack of rocks like slung over where his shoulder would be if he had them, and you can see he's tied off on like 5 points, with the rope, and he has the rest of the length coiled up on his other arm, and he is trudging towards the ship, which I guess, is there a dock, or is there like a rowboat that's going to take us out to the ship, or what's the situation there?
Oh, you're going out with the ship, so it's basically a Viking longboat, and you're going to have to take the boat in through the crashing waves.
Okay, so it's on the beach right now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So as he goes forward, I mean, he's the further out he gets, the wet sand is a little tricky for Grumble to navigate, but he's able to make his way to the ship, and he pulls himself into the boat.
And Nosi will probably have her staff going, just like glowing a little bit of light to give them some sort of light as she goes to step into the boat. And she would probably try to be more towards the front so she could, at least have her light to see if she needs it. So
Renoy has she's got a sack over her shoulder with a bunch of dirt in it, and then she has a rope tying down all of the lids on the beer mugs, and she has those dangling over to the other side, and she just kind of like looks at the people, and she looks at the ship, and then just kind of jumps up in the air and just sort of flies and flutters, and then like does this kind of and then lands right on the back of the ship.
I think Emir trips a little bit as he's like distracted watching Renoy fly onto the like he's like ooh looking up, and then he like stumbles and then gets his footing again as he's like knee deep in the waves pushing the boat out for everyone else because everyone else had to jump in already. And when he gets about waist deep, he'll like climb himself onto the boat.
So you're pushing back, and from behind, you can kind of see the silhouette of all the heroes as this swell is taking you in, and you're at chest deep, but now it's like knee deep, and there's this massive wall of water pounds into the ship. But the ship's designed for this, so it kind of cuts the water out, but it's powerful. And so as you're getting back into the boat, you can see an even bigger one is coming, and it looks like it's towering even over you. We have two conflicts in play right now, which is the swell. Yeah. And we also have, the Seiskar. So what do you do as you are getting back into this boat and realizing that this next wave is serious?
I think I'm going to try to use my weight to basically run towards the front of the boat as we hit the wave to like throw ourselves through give us more momentum through the wave.
All right, so this is I think this is just a protect, unless you are going to get other people involved in this. This is a defend, which is a virtue roll.
Okay.
If you wanted to rally others to help out, it would be a different one.
I think I don't know if he would expect everyone's like this plan for like I don't know if he would expect everyone's weight to be as helpful, but he sort of I think he shouts we need to tip at the crest of the wave or something like that, and then he like runs towards the or like throws his weight towards the other end of the ship.
All right, so
see,
it is virtue, and then any dice you can add to that.
Is this withstanding the elements or getting through an environment?
Definitely withstanding the elements.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use my D8 for that. And I have a D8 in virtue. And he's like, don't worry, I will save you all. And he like throws his body at the problem. Do I get a talent die when attempting to... Nope. Yep. Okay, here we go.
It's like that scene in Interstellar when you realize it's not a mountain.
Yeah. So it's 23.
23. Well, you could have rolled better, I guess.
I got a 19. I could have, yes.
Awesome. That means you get a favor. Everybody has started off with one favor this round, even though you may have had more last time. They reset each session.
Okay.
So you have a favor. We have resolved one stage of the swell.
Awesome.
And you have narrative control. Now, you can't control the ocean because I still control it with my index card here, but you can control anything else about this. What happens?
Awesome. And just so I have the picture right, have we made it over the wave yet, or is this just keeping us from flipping at the first part? Or like, are we going to hit another wave that's that other bit of the swell?
Yeah, the first wave came by, and then there's that second wave that was coming in that you're rolling against because it was huge, 20 feet or so.
So I think it's So he rushes the front of the boat, and it tips us, like it does enough to force us through the water, but I think it's a little early, and so water starts pouring onto the ship, even though we've like balanced out. So we're not going to get thrown back but we're not quite over yet because there's still water just sort of like pouring into the ship. And he's weathering it fine, like he's holding on to the head of the ship. What's the animal on the head of the ship?
You have narrative control right now. What do you want to
do? It's a dragon. And and so he's like grabbing
there's like two dragons. There's the masthead and then there's the nosy like at the
so he's like grabbing that and he's sort of riding this like a big surfboard.
And then it goes down. And it's now spinning a bit. So you've made it over that wave, but now the current is making it go. What's the term in sailing when you tack? I think that's what it is. And you're going the wrong way. Now there's another wave, except it's going to hit you broadside. And this looks like the big break. The last one was just what happens when it hits the shore. You're now hitting the break. So that means then anything goes wrong with this next wave, you will capsize. This is stage 2 of the threat.
All right, so, I got an idea.
What are you gonna do?
I'm tied off to the stern of the ship, and we're going sideways. I want to time a jump off the back of it, so I act like an anchor that like pulls the point of the ship so it whips around. Like if you imagine, I don't know if anybody knows what like a lazy Nezumi is, right? But it's like it's like pulling a thread, right? Yeah. And so it makes a straight line. So I'm gonna try to do that.
I think this is we're gonna call this a courage roll. Because while you are defending,
courage, I like that.
Yeah, you're defending, but you're doing it in a really cavalier way. So this would be the equivalent to striking an enemy. You're striking the ocean.
All right. Would you say that this would be similar to tumbling? Rock tumbling?
Yeah. I mean, you are literally tumbling.
Yes.
It's a grumble tumble.
It's a grumble tumble.
The grumble tumble.
So can I roll my performance proficiency for this?
Well, yeah, but you have to describe how much flair this. I mean, what it looks like. It's got to look like you're hamming it up for the camera.
Oh, okay.
Or there needs to be, some sort of wink or something to show off.
I think I'm sort of carnival barking the this. There's not really that many types of dives that a rock ball can with 4 limbs sticking off of it can really do. So I'm describing this as, behold the patented grumble tumble triple flip with a double landed twist. And then he like jumps off and it's like, that was just like a belly flop. Like what we even, he's just round no matter what angle he enters the water. And as you're kind of staring at it, like, what was that even supposed to be? The rope goes taut, and you hear that sound as it like snaps into a straight line, and the stern of the ship is held in place, and the front sort of whips around from the momentum of the sideways slide. And roll.
Yeah, let's see how this works out.
1d20 plus my courage, right?
Yes, right. And then you can throw your discipline die in there if you want.
Wait. And my discipline die can be it can be a d4, a d6, or a d8, right?
Yeah, but you have to check it off, and you can't use that again until you rest.
Okay, I'll use the d6.
And if there's a talent, also just to remind you, you have a favor. So if you wanted to really build up your pool, you could spend a favor to add another d6 to the pool. You don't have to.
That is a 16.
Okay. So, the tautness you describe, the tautness you describe happens. The vote is corrected, and those of you with oars can kind of power through, but you realize pretty quickly that the boat isn't moving. It seems that Grumble is anchored down at the bottom of the ocean floor and stuck down there. So when we look at him, it's like he's like a dredge, going through, and then the ocean floor is just like building up around him. And so now the boat is sort of, it's managing, but you're not going anywhere. You're past the break though. So unless there's some big sneaky ass wave, you'll be okay. But you're just sort of stuck.
Does anybody have an
I'm
idea, or do I run back and start pulling him into the boat?
Can the reason why I'm stuck underneath the water be that there's a shark on my leg?
Yes.
I think Amir should pull him up.
Okay, cool. So Amir runs to the back and starts like pulling arm over elbow with
unravels and you've lost the line. There is a black tentacle coming up out of the water. Now from below, Grumble sees just a black mass encompassing the entire view and barnacles. But on the surface, you're actually seeing one of the arms come up. And Grumbles is no longer attached to the boat. And the boat is now moving away.
So where did the line break? Close to me or close to Grumble?
Close to you. I think it was probably just chafing on the side of the...
So as soon as that happens, Emir goes, "Muscles, broken line!" And like Muscles just dives over the end to go and grab the rope.
Awesome. All right. So Otter overboard, but Otter knows how to swim, so you don't need to roll for that. But the Grumble, you're sort of cut off from the rest of the group, and the sea creature's in between you and the boat.
The sea scare?
Yeah. Or something that is probably the size of a sea scare.
All right. Question. Can I sing underwater? Because if so...
You can use a favor to establish the truth.
Okay. I would like to use a favor to establish the truth that I can sing underwater and that I know a shark charming song.
Okay.
So I can do that?
Yeah, totally. Totally. And
Excellent.
you spent a favor, so
Yeah.
I'll let you tame the shark.
Yeah, I'm gonna sing "O Hunter of the Ocean, Wolf of the Sea. Now we are one. You're a chariot for me." And it goes from trying to thrash me with my legs stuck in its jaws, and its eyes kind of go wide, and it basically just turns into a puppy at that point. And it'll be my friend for at least a little bit, and maybe I can get closer to my topside friends, or maybe closer to the beast. I don't know how big does this thing look under the water? Is it just like blotting everything out?
Yeah, it seems like there's a big wall of barnacle flesh in front of you, and it's moving. And then after a while,
I want to go for wherever the center of it is, because we're not going to be able to fight this thing. We got to talk to this thing. So I'm going to try to find a face, a mouth hole, something.
Okay.
Some sort of sensory.
The shark has kind of kicked you up, and you're like on top of it.
Yeah.
All right. So on the surface, I think it is Renoy that, because you're at the bow, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely are seeing the tentacles coming up, but one of them is going down, and when you look over the side, you see an eye emerge from the water that belongs to this massive, fleshy, barnacled body, and the eye is bigger than the boat. And there's a couple things that you realize. First of all, this area of the ocean is extremely deep, considering it's so close to the shore. But it dropped off. And the second thing is that this thing is like completely underneath you. And the eye rolls back into the water, and now you're just seeing this fleshy mass beneath the boat.
Oh, good. Just what I needed today, on top of being soaking wet. She like tries to shake off her wings again, but it's not working.
Focus, Renoi. Focus.
But it's so cold.
Focus. We need to talk to this deity, this sea scare.
All right. Maybe I don't know, maybe I can attract it. I mean, I don't want to attract it to us with a blessing or a charm or anything, because I don't want to like bring danger to us. But do we even know if we try to talk to it, it will understand us?
I don't know.
All indicators point that it might, at least according to Amir. It will understand. We can try at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe the story,
I've done all the charming. I'm going to do this quest. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. I guess what Renoi wants to try to do is, since the sea scar is beneath us again and they don't know when it's going to surface, she wants to actually kind of like take control of the ocean to try to like part some of it just enough to where she can like kind of at least force the eye back up, or like force it up above water so they could try to shout at it, I guess, or try to talk to it. So she wants to kind of lift the sea scare up from the ocean while moving the boat back at a safe distance. So kind of like creating a divide in the ocean, us on one side and then the sea scare on the other.
Okay, how is that magic done?
That is a good question. Well, since I'm assuming is it really windy?
Yes, gale force winds, and you're protected by the sides of the boat, but yeah, it's really windy.
Okay, so Renoi wants to use the wind. She wants to redirect the wind to actually like force the water apart. And she can push it. Okay.
And there's well, I guess I'm getting down to is the magic like a chant, or is it a
it's just she mostly just kind of closes her eyes and mumbles to herself, and she will envision what it is she wants to happen. And then if it works, stuff will start to happen around her. So it's very quiet.
So, Anasi, you can see what's going on here. It looks like she is she's out of her depth, no pun intended, but she's out of her depth because
pun was intended. Let's be honest here.
Her focus is typically on creatures and cursing and blessing, but she's trying to affect the ocean itself. Can you help?
I absolutely can help.
Okay. How are you going to help?
Inosi will step up next to Renoi with her staff. Scarf gets in her face. She gets a whiff of rotten fish or whatever the heck this scarf smells like now. Her robes are kind of whipping around her, and she holds out her staff. It's very Gandalf. It's very Gandalf in front of the Balrog type thing. And she holds out her staff, and she's going to use her magic to attempt to influence attempt to do what Renoi was trying to do. Well, bring this creature up from the ocean. I think that's what she was attempting to do.
So Renoi, when you're in a chant, you're actually feeling the it work, and you're kind of exploring and feeling the elements, and then all of a sudden, when the staff goes down, it's just like everything falls into place and it clicks and everything's greased, and you're like, yeah, okay, I got it. And so you ride that current and that current of magic. And so here's what you get to do. You're doing a interestingly a navigate others or an ally. I guess it depends on what your intent is.
I guess Renoy's intent would be, to like literally have everybody face the creature so, we could talk to it. She doesn't have any like malicious intent or anything. So.
All right, let's call this prestige.
Okay.
It may not be that you're trying to make friends with it necessarily, but you're trying to navigate it. So you'll get your prestige die. You also get Anosi's prestige die.
Oh, okay.
Because she's helping.
My prestige is the D8.
The D8. Excellent. Okay.
I don't think this will apply. I don't think any of your disciplines apply here because you're kind of out of your lane.
Mm-hmm.
But there might be a talent or something you can throw in there too, or if you want to pay a favor to add another D6.
I feel like I'll pay a favor to add a D6. This seems a little tricky. So, all right. There we go.
So pick the highest of the non D20s.
Oh dear. Okay.
Uh-oh.
5.
That's the highest. Okay. Now roll D20. Add it to D20.
5.
Well, that's you needed 10. So
okay. Okay. Oh God.
Just by the skin of her horns.
Oh
Just
my
by the
God.
skin of her horns.
okay. So
Passing is still passing.
so the water maybe it was because Anosi was the power that she brought to the magical current was more than you were expecting. But when you part the water like Moses, like all of the water is displaced around you, and now the boat Bertha has landed kind of cocked onto the sea monster. And
Sorry,
as if it
guys.
was dry land. And then the sea monster is rising up out of the water. And at that point, you see a rock person riding a shark. The shark has surfaced the water.
His name is Gilbert.
The shark's name is Gilbert. So so now it's like you're approaching an island. There's this behemoth is just rising up out of the water. And it looks like kind of a giant octopus. So you're sort of seeing the head come up and the eyes, and the rowboat is on top of the head, of the crown of the head. So you guys are quickly going many dozens of feet above the water.
Right.
Well,
Okay. Now we just need to
Got his
talk.
attention.
Now we just need to talk to. Yeah. Does anybody? I mean, how?
Can I see
Should
them
we
from where I
lower
am?
somebody
Yeah, it's like a boat hat on top of an octopus.
over the side? I mean, how? I mean, we're sort of on top of the head here. I've never done diplomacy like this before.
I excitedly wave. Hey,
It seems kind of rude.
What are you doing,
Y'all made
Grumble?
Like this big from your vantage point.
I'm hanging out with my new friend.
Oh.
He's a shark.
Gilbert rolls over to get a belly rub.
Okay.
Look at this bad boy. He loves hard pats.
I am very disappointed at the docile nature of this creature. I was told they were great hunters.
Yeah, but I'm a better singer. So, I got this guy on my side, and now we're best friends.
Grumble has a shark, but
alright.
did we forget about I mean, it.
Yeah. How do we talk to it? Do we sing at it? What do we do?
Well,
Someone
I'm
should say
looking
something
for like a
quickly.
mouth or an ear or an eyeball or something that we could. Because I mean, if this thing wanted to kill us, it would have already done it, right?
Yes, that's true. Also, you see the big eyes on the head on either side of the head, but you don't see a mouth.
Well, I don't need to talk into the mouth. I can talk into the ears. Where's the ears? Give me an ear hole.
Well,
Maybe we'll just yell at it. Like, Hello, hi. Sorry, we're on your head, octopus monster.
I could probably
creature.
amplify someone's voice if
Okay.
Probably don't call it the
who would
monster.
like to
Yeah.
who would like to speak to
I got this one, y'all.
All right.
know
can I
some-
got it.
Can you kind of make my voice big?
Yeah. And Osi will try to amplify Grumble's voice.
Mm-hmm.
That the the sea scare will be able to hear him. Can I do that? Use my magic to do that.
Definitely. You don't need to roll for it. It'll be an assist if anything.
Okay, perfect.
Because you're not the one doing the talking.
So Nosi's staff glows, and she sort of circles it around Grumble, and then she kind of gestures like, "Whenever you're ready."
Oh, botanicled one. Oh, great creature of the deep, from beyond the horizon. Why have you come here? This is not your home. This is not where you belong. No one expected you to be here, yet you have appeared. I can't see what that says.
It says yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, great Octogod. Please inform us of why you have come to us in this manner. Crashing waves upon the beach, ships upon the waves, and hopes upon those broken ships themselves. These sea beards do not wish you harm, nor do we. We are here for two reasons: to travel, and he points to Enosi, and for love. And if there's anything that we could agree upon is worthy of a quest not to be interrupted by one so powerful as yourself, it's love. So please tell us why you are here, so that we might become friends and both attain that which we seek.
What a speech. Let's see if it worked.
All right. So I'm
Have
going to
you?
roll.
I don't know that you all have been using your advantage die. Remember, this is a quest.
Oh, this is still a quest. I have not been using the advantage die. What? Okay. So
So I think at this point you are. This is a tough one. I think this is ally, which is a virtue roll.
okay, I can take that.
Or, I mean, it could be navigate others if you're not really being authentic, or if you're being like navigate others would be I'm just going to tell you what you want to hear, whereas ally would be I actually sincerely mean this.
No, I mean he realizes that this creature is a, for lack of a better word, god. So
Yeah. All right. So that would be virtue.
So virtue, and would this be a discipline of Oraten or
Yeah.
Oraten?
Yeah.
Written words?
If you want to spend that die, you can.
Okay. Do a D8 from that, and so I get to double that D8 because this is a quest.
Well, you double your virtue.
W virtue. Okay, so that's a D6. Okay, I think I got all this correct. And it's the D20 plus the highest of whatever these others are.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So 13 plus 4 is a 17.
Awesome. So you all hear in your minds the chorus of must be 1,000 voices. You have accepted my grace and wisdom on this plane. I thank you and will not destroy you for now. But you must leave these waters for me. This is my home. Leave now and we have peace.
Listen, my name's Grumble. What should I call you, oh great 8-armed wonder of the world? How might I address you with respect?
You may call me your grace, for it is through my grace that you live.
Well, that's wonderful, Your Grace, and we thank you for not dashing us upon these rocks. That's something that we can build on. Now, you mentioned that this is your home. Yet the Seabeards have been fishing here for a while, and to them, from their perspective, you've only been here for a brief period of time. So I'm just wondering, when did you arrive here?
One of the tentacles comes up and grabs the boat off of its head, and you are all being lifted probably 50 to maybe higher feet above the ocean. And it looks like this tentacle is going to throw you. Now, it's gripping you by suction. So you, from your point of view, are just seeing mounds of flesh, of black, stinky, fishy flesh. And you are like little kids inside of a tumbling ride. It's not good. Looks like you're about to be thrown. And there's some cold silence where the voice once was. He's told you to leave and he's done talking. That's what it seems like. What do you do?
Hold on. What if we provide an offering? Your Grace.
I listen to this. Kind of dangling there now. With one gesture, you'll be thrown miles.
I noticed you previously were wearing the ship as a hat. Now, I don't mind telling you that this may be my greatest challenge yet. But if there's anybody who can create a chapeau that is worthy of your grace, well, you're looking at him.
Okay, so it was Amir's idea for an offering. Grumble has assisted by offering a hat. Is there anything you want to do apart from suggest an offering to try to seal this deal?
Yeah. How far would you say our boat is from the nearest ocean wall that has been displaced?
He's lifted you up, so you're probably 50 feet away.
How long is my fishing pole's line?
Well, you made a big fishing pole. You could reach the water. That's what you're aiming for. Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to catch a shark that is swarming the waters, and as an offering, I think it will make a nice bit for the hat, for the front of the hat.
Okay. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
Gilbert is not going to like this.
Okay. So he just Gilbert's not going to like this.
Avert your eyes, Gilbert. Don't look.
So it looks like a fly fishing motion. Like he whips it around for a second and then like launches it into the side of the wall of ocean. He's gonna try to catch fish.
Yeah. So you're going to use Navigate Others because this is your offering.
Okay. Which one does that roll?
That is Prestige.
Oh, good. That's a D4. So I get two of those.
You also get Grumble's Prestige because he's helping you by offering a hat.
It's also a D4.
Okay. That's 3 D4. I got enough of those. Cool.
I'm going to get a hat roll out of this campaign.
Don't forget your advantage die, so you get an additional Prestige.
An additional D4. Got it. Yeah. So I got 3 D4 so far. And I'm a hunter, so I'm gonna catch me a fish. So I'm gonna use a D8 from my hunter. All right. Okay. Well, that is what's 8 plus 6? 14.
Great. So yes, you catch a shark, and it takes a little longer than you want, and some patience is wearing, but you do catch a shark, and you have reeled it in, kind of flapping wildly, and there is a large shark inside of this Viking longboat thrashing around.
I've got my thumb in its mouth and I'm holding it like a big ass bass, and I'm and I hold it up to the like over the edge of the boat to the Kraken. Would this do as an offering? Would such a hunter prove a valuable adornment for your grace?
Yes. And 42 more.
Okay. Well, to do that, you are going to have to put the boat down so that we can continue to fish them.
You're suddenly in a free fall.
Oh, not that fast.
And he cushions it a bit. It lowers you into the water next to Grumble. And the head turns sideways, and now you're looking at the big eye. And it's a sort of amber, almost draconic eye. You shall be in my service until the debt is paid.
Oh, shit. I can't actually do that. What happens if I break a creed?
Nothing. It's just a guy. If you are good, this is what you do. So it is sort of there is no mechanical drawback to doing it. It's just sort of signposts on how your character's values.
Okay, because I'm not supposed to take an oath to a particular society or leader.
Mm-hmm. So you have to lie.
Yeah. He wouldn't lie, though. I think he's just going to tell him, I cannot be in your service, but I will provide you these 42 sharks. He just wouldn't lie. He would...
Tentacles coming down from this guy, and it looks like it's going to just crash you all. What do you do? This is you, the boat. No, you can't see it on my camera. Here's you, the boat, and here's the tentacle. He's had enough of you. You're not going to get your 40 snarks, okay?
Grumble's going to tell Gilbert to dive. Get underneath the water.
Renoy wants to use the amulet she made to try to like lessen the blow.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. All right, so roll defend.
Okay.
And you get 2 defend dice defend is virtue. So you get 2 virtue dice.
Okay, great. So that's 2d6s for me.
And then anything else you can add to that, you might want to.
The
amulet. So you have a discipline. You can add a discipline die.
Discipline die. Okay. Would courage work?
Well, you can only do 1 humor.
Oh, sorry.
But you can roll the discipline die, so you can choose a D8, D6, or D4.
Okay.
Spend one of those.
I will spend. I'm gonna spend a
You
D8.
also have a what's the hero point thing that gives you another?
I already spent that.
Yeah, you already spent that as a favor. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I spend a favor for them?
Oh, that's for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a D8 to it.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
So here are these. Highest I got was 4. No. Come on, D20. Come on. 8.
All right. Well, that's higher than 10.
Yeah.
Or 9, rather.
Barely.
Okay. I would like you to see the 4 stages of the Say Scar have been subdued. So,
Pow.
the tentacle comes down, crashing hard. Boo! Massive wave from the impact. The boat is smashed into smithereens. Everybody on the boat goes slamming down into the bottom of the ocean. This was a moderate success, so I have the option of giving you harm, which I will in this case. So you let me know how that makes you feel. Are you scared? Are you ashamed? Are you what would be the other option? Probably one of this. Probably scared, or are you angry?
Me. Renoi is just mostly like, of course, scared, but also like disappointed in herself because she's trying to go too big and help out her friends, but it doesn't seem to be working quite well. So she also feels like she's letting everybody down, and she's afraid she's going to get them all killed. So.
All right. Well, I would put a harm on prestige.
Okay.
The rest of you, given the circumstances, you're not going to take harm to your stats because you didn't roll, but you definitely got pounded. But here's the thing: the amulet protected you, so it's like you're wearing invisible armor. You got slammed into everybody but Grumble because he got the hell out of there with the shark. But the rest of y'all got slammed into the ocean floor and completely kicked up this huge cloud of dust and mud in the water, and unharmed. And at this point, the amulet's like protecting you from all the elements, so you just sort of rise back up to the surface of the water, like you're walking on the water. And the giant octopus comes up, and the eyes are unblinking and looking at you. You left out that you were gods as well. I shall leave this realm. It is not mine. And it goes into the deeper part of the ocean. The storm starts fading. And after a moment, it's blue skies, and you see seagulls.
This is wedding weather.
Well, I'm glad we all adhere to the Ghostbusters rule. Someone asked you for God. Just, yeah, sure.
I mean, no, but hey, if Tentacle Boy is gonna believe that, then
Cool.
I'm good.
I see no reason to correct him at this stage. I am not aware of either way. I think Muscles pops up with a tuna.
Tunas are massive.
If someone pulls me up into the amulets thing, I'll let Gilbert be on his way. Bye. I'll never forget you.
I'm gonna catch and release my shark then. So I'll put it back in the water and like let it go.
The sea bears are on the coast, staring at you. Open mouths, open eyes, and some shrapnel of what was once Bertha washes to the shore. You are all literally walking on water right now.
Inosi will try to be as dignified as possible, walking towards shore with her, her staff and all that robe, everything.
Renoi is just happy to be out of the water, but she's still soaking wet, so she's just kind of like trudging along on top of the water, just like, so glad I made that amulet. So glad I made that amulet. So glad I made that amulet.
Roy is among the crowd. The Roy.
Roy, did you see that? That was wild. Can't believe it.
He whispers to his vizier, and the vizier says, "What do we call you, Whitlanders? For we owe our lives to you."
Did you not? I'm Grumble. That's a no. Did you not remember that we introduced ourselves yesterday?
You
were
will
pretty
you go
drunk.
down in as legends? What do we call you?
The Brother Grumble Good Time Band. Are y'all good with that?
Emir throws the tuna for Muscles to go and fetch, and is, yes, of course, whatever you want to call us.
Inosi, Renoi. Roy wants to know what to call us.
A good. I don't even know what that means, but sure. Yeah. It has the word good in it. So
I mean, does he understand us now? I mean, I thought there was like a translation.
Well, the
issue.
vizier is translating.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Vizier, tell us what that. Read that back to us in Beardies.
He does. It sounds like there's a certain eloquence to it. You know, Brother Grumble, Brother Grumble, and the Good Time Band.
And his good time band, yes.
Well, now it sounds like terrible when he reads it back to you.
Oh. All right, but put it the other way.
We are a band of brothers, like Grumble's band of brothers. Wait, but we are not all brothers.
band of siblings sounds more appropriate, although it doesn't quite roll off the tongue as easily.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a brother, so it's all of you are. It's Brother Grumble's Good Time Band. You're all part of the Good Time
Gotcha.
Band.
We are a good time band?
You're Good Time Band. That's what I'm saying, Amir.
I cannot play an instrument.
We'll have to rethink this then. Don't worry, I'll train you up.
How about the sea scare? Something we could do something with that. So it's a little more dignified considering what we did here.
Ooh, the sea scar slayers. Even though we didn't slay
I mean,
him,
we didn't really slay him. Perhaps the sea scare whisperers.
Oh, I like
The
that.
sea scare adventurers.
whisperers.
Sea scare tamers.
Oh, I like this. I like Tamer. That is a good name for us. We are.
Grumble's really like pissy off in the corner, like, yeah, fine, whatever you want to call
What-
it. That sounds good to me. I think it's. I mean, I like the other thing more, but you know, whatever you guys want.
But what if we were God Tamers?
Ooh,
Now that I like.
yes. Mhm.
We did. We tamed the god.
We did.
Brother
did.
Grumble's God Tamers. That has a ring to it. That will
Okay.
be memorable.
Brother Grumble and the God Tamers. But that
What?
excludes you from taming
No.
the god. Grumble, I think we are all just God Tamers.
Fine. Roy,
Well.
you can call us God Tamers.
The Invoked Tom. That's what it sounds like in their tongue.
The Invocatom.
That sounds
And-
beautiful.
That
They
really
are,
rolls off the 2-foot tongue.
They are. They are rolling together a nice ballad for you. Blackshire can't keep eye contact with Anosi. It's like every time eye contact might happen during the inevitable feast, obviously they start feasting right away. And the ale is pouring. The Blackshire is just, he can't look at you.
Grumble is going to waddle over to Anosi. Anosi, is everything okay between you and Blackshire?
I think I've pushed myself out of his league.
Is he upset because we broke his boat?
I don't know.
We could get him another boat.
Do you want me to talk to him?
Yeah, why don't you? Well, I don't know as if I should. Renoy, why don't you go talk to him?
Me? Okay. You just want me to?
Just ask if he's okay.
Okay.
He's acting
All
a little avoidant.
Okay. We'll just dust off the feathers.
And
okay.
please, no matchmaking.
Okay.
Please.
I promise.
No matchmaking.
Okay. I'm not gonna stop yelling.
I will gas you, I swear.
Oh, please don't. That smells so awful, especially when you're sleeping.
Hey,
Oops, did I say that out loud? Okay. And she walks over to the to the sea.
Y'all see two
bird.
puffs of black smoke come out of her nose. She's mad.
Hi. Just wanted to come over, and just see if everything's going okay. Like I, saw, you and Anosi seemed like you kind of have a thing, and now, you're not going over to talk to her or anything. It was just making sure you're okay.
What ye have done will stay in our hearts, our families' hearts, for all time. How can a fisherman hold anything to that?
Oh, well, I know Anosi pretty well, and, she's not the kind of dragon to look for any kind of payback or only do things if something is given to her in return. She's a pretty sweet dragon, and, you shouldn't have to feel like you owe her anything.
And I had hoped for a future, but our future will be in the ballads.
Well, at least instead of just the future, if it's in the ballads, it can live on forever. So there you go. It may not be literal, like ceremony, all of that jazz, but if it lives in the ballads forever, I think that's a pretty fair compromise.
The first Highcaster fan fiction was born.
AO3 gets invented all of a sudden in Highcaster.
I'm gonna go see if I can find the masthead, the dragon from his boat on the beach.
Yeah, we're not in a quest scene anymore, so this would probably be a culture scene, meaning that anything that happens isn't dangerous. But yeah, and what's your plan?
To give it to Anosi so that she can give it to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's like a sorry for wrecking your boat.
Yeah, you find Bertha's dragon head.
And he kind of comes over shyly and hands it to Anosi, or like holds it out to Anosi. It's huge. And the least we can do is give him back this. A boat can be rebuilt, but it was a family heirloom. And I feel like maybe the destruction of his family's boat and the loss of prospect is too much for him. You give him this. And he's like trying to force it into Anosi's hand.
Well, can I even carry this thing? It's probably too big for me. I think, Amir, you'll have to carry it for me.
Okay, you do talking, and I will deliver.
Okay, so she'll walk over there to where Blackshire is.
Oh, my hero, and he, does a deep bow, very respectful, keeps himself at attention.
Enough of that. There's no need for any of that. We have brought your masthead for you to rebuild your ship.
Into the sand.
But please allow me to help you. I want to do a spell that will make the dragon's eyes glow like night light when you want them to. So he can basically have a boat with a masthead that has like eyes to see at night if he wants to. It'll be triggered by a word.
That's great. I won't make you roll for that. That's something probably simple for you to do.
Yeah. And I'll ask him, I'm like, what word would you like to use?
Anosi.
She blushes a little bit and she'll do it. So when he says Anosi, the eyes will light up. And when you say it again, the lights will go off. For when you rebuild your ship.
Thank you. Now, please drink. And they're feeding you all feast alcohol.
I want to go over to where they're writing this legend, apparently, and I want to give them some notes.
Yeah, the dramatic scoffler from the feast has a seagull quill and he's just like his performance art, dramatically writing poetry on some lambskin.
Does it have a beat? I mean, does he have a hook? Like, how good is this?
It's like AB. And but the language is really good, and he's really writing it for memorization. So you really can't scorn him too bad for that. He's writing so that it's easy to remember.
How much Gilbert is in this tale?
Well, just looking over his shoulder, you don't see anything because he doesn't know about Gilbert.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to tell him everything about Gilbert. That's the part that's gonna get the kids involved.
Yeah.
That's how you make it a fun story. Like, this is day one stuff, brother. You need to put in the funny animals. And let me tell you, Gilbert was hilarious.
The humor of the Invoke Toms, lethal shark, ye bear. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
His flourish with it, And then he recites it to make sure that the words sound right, and then transcribes what he says. I mean, he's an artist. He does this really well.
That Gilbert, he had shark puns out the cloacal. I'm going to miss him.
Define this word.
It's a shark's butthole. You asked.
You know that. Like, the things that you're just like, yeah, of course. Because everybody knows that's what it is.
I've been lots of places. I've sold a lot of hats to a lot of people. Heard a lot of stories. I learned about the buttholes in a lot of animals. That's just what I know.
When Ori grabs her beer, just walks over to the fireplace and she's like, I'm done for the night, and just takes a huge chug and just wanders off.
Well,
feasting, storytelling, what else is happening?
I have to tell the tale of the how big my fish was to all the fishermen in the village.
There's a whole different meter for fish tales.
Yeah. I hold my hands out real big, like my shark was, and I'm like, it was, he's like, this is so yay, and every time he tells, like, every cask that he picks up and drinks, it gets bigger.
So it's as big as you by the end of it.
Yeah.
20-foot shark, and it still wasn't enough. He wanted 40 more.
Ori kicks up her feet. She's like, Amir, how big was the shark again?
And he gets really excited. And he was like, it was this big. And he holds out his arms and he puts his hand through a wall because he's not paying. He's getting a little tipsy and he's not paying attention. He just sort of poof, oh, I will fix. And he reaches to pull it back up.
So in the morning, something happens that hasn't happened at Isolation Coast in months, and the goals are out. So you all wake up to that. I don't know how many of you are hungover, but you are going to have to deal with seagulls now, and the broad waking hours. You also can recover a discipline die and a harm, as you have rested for the night after a good feast. The coastal village, or what's left of it, is all still sleeping, and the feast will start when everybody wakes up. Because they don't feast for just a night; they feast for a fortnight. So you can continue to hang out in that feast, or you can decide what you're doing now.
I think we should probably move on with our quest.
Yeah, they had mentioned. Part of our deal was that if we handled their situation with the sea scare, that they would give us passage on one of their ships
to go into Darwish on the Riverlands.
Yeah. So, is that something that's going to happen soon, or do we have to wait for them to finish this multi-day feast and then sleep off the hangover and all that stuff?
Yeah, you'll have to wait. Plus, they have to build a boat.
Yeah, they're out. We broke their last boat.
Yeah, we can help with that. While we're we can help.
You're probably going to be stuck there for a couple of weeks unless you're just going to go without the boat.
I mean, are we in a rush or are we?
I don't think we have a time limit.
Yeah, it seems like we can hang out here and talk to these people. Are awesome.
Y'all do the thinking for Renoy. She's so hungover, but she's making some hangover cure out of leaves that she picked while fighing.
Guys, we should ask Renoy what she wants to do. Hey, Renoy!
Shh, not so. What?
We're trying to decide whether we're going to stick around here, or are we going to and wait for a ship to be ready to head on over to the Wish Coast. Wish, what is it called?
Darwish.
Darwish. Or are we going to hoof it around the coast itself? What do you think?
There's seagulls going on in the back. Somebody turn off the seagulls, please. What? We go somewhere? I don't want to go anywhere right now. It's way too bright.
Well, all right, that settles it.
Yes, it looks like we are staying then. Just think of how many fish I can catch that I have never seen. They have told me of so many kinds.
Well, I suppose we could take some time to stay here, replenish supplies, help them build a boat.
I want to learn some more songs. I want to get this ship hat idea down on paper.
Okay. So we'll stay.
Yeah, you stay for the whole feast. That's great.
Yeah,
By then, you probably picked up some of their language, and they picked up some of yours. And the Whitlanders, at least the Asar clan, and these groups of seabirds are allies. Kind of built a little bit of a trade network now that they know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the traders are bringing salted fish. They're loading up the wagon, and they're going to take it to your clan. And bring back your tales of legend. So you've already sort of networked out, and you helped them build the boat. They let you christen it and name the boat.
What's the name of our boat? Oh,
You just did a smaller one. It's still kind of the same style, but it only has 8 oars instead of 30. So it's like 4 on each side, but it's large enough to hold a mirror comfortably. Think about the boat name. But yeah, you can kick off in the river and start heading inland.
What kind of biome is this? What sort of environment?
Yeah, you're getting back into the wetlands after a while. And so the river is really slow, but that's okay. You're going against the current. I don't know. Is Amir doing all of the oaring? it's like
I can.
Is it like a gondola with me just pushing us up the river?
Yeah, you could do it that way probably.
I'm pretty strong. I could probably. I don't really get that tired, so I could probably do some of that.
Can I help them by like redirecting the wind to go with us? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So you're kind of making your way along this river, and the river is one of many, and you're kind of getting into very deep wetlands after a while, and it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the river and say the swamp. But you're kind of going through this area, and just from stories and from general knowledge that beyond the swamp is the Darwish capital. So you just have to kind of make it through. Now you've circumnavigated most of the word. Like you don't have to go through the sunken forest, but you still have to go through this kind of not exactly pleasant, large mosquito infested area. And at some point during the journey, the swamp kind of takes on a different texture. Like it's darker, it's gloomier, the air is heavier. You may have thought that was probably part of the fact, the region that you're in, but there's something odd about it. It smells like death and decay, more so than normal swamps should.
Are we on this ship by ourselves, or is this like a flat bottom riverboat or something that we're on? And
No, it's a longboat. It's a Viking longship basically. So yeah, it's just you.
I'll be forcing Muscles to stay in the boat, which he's not happy about. Until I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with the water, because that's probably something I'm used to. Like, did something die up ahead of us? Like, look for signs of like what could be causing this. Like,
You
what
examine the water
stream?
a little closer. It looks like it's made of ink. If you dare touch it, it kind of looks, and it's sort of like plasma-y. It doesn't look like water. It looks like goopy ink.
Is this magic related?
you're tough.
Might be.
Might
be.
I'm trying to figure out if it's magic related.
Yeah, your hackles are going up.
Yeah. My scales, like
Yeah.
I get a ridge, like How to Train Your Dragon. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Am I gonna roll here for? I do get my path talent, so I get a talent die whenever your knowledge of the magical arts is tested.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do scout on this, which is courage.
We haven't been remembering our pastoral bonuses.
I don't think we've been in a fight.
Oh, it's only for a fight? Okay.
Yeah. Strange water
is a threat.
Okay, so virtue, courage. Okay.
Yeah, courage.
And then a talent die.
If you would
can
like
I
to
help?
spend discipline, you can. Sure, yeah. If you
Since I'm like ruling out any natural causes.
Is that
Right,
that's a 6, right?
Yeah, you'll take whatever his
okay.
courage is.
D6 is courage.
Okay, so I have 2d6s. And do I use any of my? I can use any of my disciplines, perhaps. Use a spell to try to determine the origin.
You can if you want to spend one of your disciplines. Yeah. If you want to hold on.
We'll do words.
Yeah.
And I'll do a d. And why not? Why not another d6? Why not?
You're whispering a spell, in other words.
Yeah.
To divine what's going on.
Yeah. And so, okay, got my d20 and my 3 d6s. Let's go. Oh yeah. I'll take a 25, please.
25. So the so what we rolled a 6 into what?
19.
Wow. So I'll just rip up this. You get a favor. You have narrative control. Obviously, I have to tell you what's up. But you can tell me what it looks like and sort of what happens when you divine. You're on mute.
Inosi sort of steps up to the front of the longboat. And did they use the dragon thing I gave them? The dragon masthead that I spelled? Or are they saving that for
They
something?
saved that for Blackshire's boat.
Okay, perfect. All right. So what happens is like Inosi steps up to the front of the boat and she puts her staff in front of her and starts, and she starts whispering. And she starts whispering like, kind of a blue sort of fog kind of comes out of her mouth. And it kind of starts to encompass the staff and then encompass the boat and kind of goes out onto the water and kind of spreads over the black water and kind of sinks into it. And then it kind of condenses together into one big thing and kind of comes right back to her. And that's how she kind of gets the knowledge of it. She sort of sends it out and then it kind of comes right back and tells her what it is.
God has fallen here. And sometimes where locations where the gods had fell, there are shards left behind. These are giant volcanic glass monuments to what the god used to be. And that shard will sometimes corrupt the land around it. And this land has been horribly corrupted. And beyond the corruption, you can sense decay. And you believe that there are unsettled dead out there. In this world, they call them the starve. They live only to consume. They sometimes come in legions.
So I suspect that there's one of these shards here nearby.
You know
That's
there's a shard.
I know. Okay, so I'm dead positive. Okay, cool.
Is this
There
something
was
that
no
we would
pun
want-
there. Sheesh, you guys are a bad influence on me. They're punning on dead. Oh my gosh, I'm ashamed of myself.
Are these things that we would know how to like purify or something, or we would just avoid these?
No, there's always a way, you know, and as a scholar, you might be able to reach back into some of the myths and legends you've heard about them, but you've never encountered them, and no Witlander, you know, has.
Okay.
And I will say this: Inosi says from where these shards are where gods have fallen. If we were to cleanse, perhaps find this shard, that might be part of our step to restoring our star. After all, these are fallen gods. The stars are the gods.
So it sounds like we got to find this shard.
I mean, we better, because I mean, there's so much death and decay around here. I'm not gonna be able to do any spells or charms with all of this stuff around. There's not much here for me to use.
Yeah, the shards create all this corruption when they fall around them.
The shadow goop.
The boat shimmies. And you see rotten fingers grab the side. There's multiple, maybe 12, and they're coming in quick. And a creature comes up over the side, and this is rotting, swampy creature of the lagoon type monster jumps up, and many of his friends are now jumping up. And we'll stop there.
Dun dun dun.
I was getting ready to be like, can I punch one of them?
Hold that thought, and yes.
Yes.
Park it downhill, folks. Park it downhill.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we'll wrap there. We got away from the sea monster, and now we're going into swamp monster. So yay. And
Leveling up.
so
Sea
why
monster
don't,
to swamp monster.
why don't we take a moment to close by introducing ourselves again? Is that what we call it? Or what do you say? Concluding ourselves? And then we will wrap and let Alan take it away. I am Chris. This is my game Highcaster. Thank you for joining.
I have been and remain Rob. Again, I'm at Nerdy Paper Games everywhere where it matters.
All right, I'll point at you, Kurt.
Okay. I've been Kurt. You can find me at Kurt Potts pretty much everywhere. Go to Twitter if you want to hear about my game design stuff.
I'm Danny and Danielle, and I played Inosi, and you can find me on Twitter as well under my name, Danielle DeLise, and I do gaming stuff, and I do writing stuff, and horror stuff. So, yeah. With Joanna, I do horror stuff. Who's next?
Spooky.
Who's next? It's your turn, Joanna.
That's me. I'm just gonna read. I am always and will always be Joanna. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JLN Writes, like the actual writing. Yeah, if you decide to follow me, I post a lot about Star Trek and computer hardware. You can see in the background, that's what I write about for a living. I podcast with Danny. I also write horror fiction, and I post a lot about Star Trek. So it's a smorgasbord of stuff.
And you have cats.
And I
Also,
podcast,
Also, I will be streaming a recorded session I did on how the Highcaster game works, and so you'll get to see kind of the machinery. So check that out. I'll stream that tonight at 8, and I'll be available to answer any questions there. So I hope to see you there on Facebook. Find me a Gray Author with an E. And thank you for having us. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Please drop some comments and let us know.